Okay, today is October 5th, 2016. This is a part 3 update for today. And right now we're looking at the western U.S. water vapor loop. We had very, very heavy chemtrail aerosol spraying over the Los Angeles area and all the Southern California counties, and that's because we had an opportunity for rain moving in with this moisture field right here. This was a little further north earlier in the day, and we can see as it's moving south as it's moving east. So you see the tail end of that moisture moving through, and we had very heavy spraying to stop the opportunity for rain. The chemtrails cause a capping inversion layer that prevents the lift necessary for precipitation. We have to have two things for rain. We have to have moisture and lift, and the chemtrails prevent the lift. And that's why they're sprayed over the tops of these moisture fields at 45,000 feet. That's why that's done. Okay, now what we have going here is we have a jet stream diving down through California right now. Let's take a look at the jet stream map, and we can see that flow, that high-speed flow, is diving right down through northern and central California and then out to the east. All right, so let's go back to the other map, and we can see that. We can see that jet stream diving down, but there's a transmitter right here, and that is evaporating all the moisture in this jet stream flow. Otherwise, we'd be getting rain here for sure, and I'll tell you why. Because right now at 9:45 in the foothills of Los Angeles, we have a relative humidity of 77.4%, and that's after the chemtrails spraying all day long. They're actually spraying outside right now, and we can see those trails. Now, if those jets had not been spraying, we'd probably be up at 90%, 85, 90% humidity, and that would be bringing drizzle and rain, because we've got a dew point right now of 47.4 degrees, and that, of course, when the humidity goes up, the dew point also goes up to a certain degree, depending on the temperature. So right now we have a temperature of about 54 degrees. The relative humidity is 77.4%. The barometer is reading 29.94 inches, and the dew point is 47 degrees. And we had a very heavy spraying going on all day. And we can see that moisture field now moving through Baja, Mexico, and mainland Mexico, partly through Arizona. So the people out in Arizona, I'm sure, were sprayed very heavily as well. I don't have the MODIS Today map up right now, but we also see another big moisture field diving down on the jet stream. And so tomorrow, everybody in California will be getting sprayed, because we have opportunities for rain moving in from the west, and now we've got rain chances moving down from the north. And we can see the chemtrails being sprayed here in a couple of these frames. We'll look at that here in the SSEC map, the water vapor map. We can see the right up here, there's some spraying visible right in this area. And we had that upper level low pressure out a couple of days ago. This thing was spinning way out over here by halfway out from Hawaii. But that has been completely neutralized. We can see that dark area where the transmitter has counteracted all that counterclockwise activity. And that will move south of California. We can see the transmitter here is going to make sure that this goes down south and passes California on the south. And we have several other lows out here. We've got one way over out here. We've got one up here with a transmitter on it. We can see that right there. So there's plenty of opportunity for rain, but it's all being stopped by these terrorists running our weather. All right, so that's the problem. That's why we have a drought in California. We've got multiple opportunities for rain, and what do we get? We get wind and chemtrails and fires. So people need to wake up, start observing the specific timing of the chemtrails. That's the key thing. That's how I got into this 5 years ago. I was noticing the chemtrails way back in 1997, 96, that period of time, and I'd noticed them, and I never connected the dots until about 5 years when I made it my business. I just started, I bought some weather instruments, and I was writing down every day the daily logs of temperature, humidity, barometer, barometric pressure, and so forth, and the timing of the chemtrails. And what do I find? I found a found a direct correlation between the spraying activity and the incoming moisture fields showing up on these satellite maps. All right, let's go out to the Caribbean now and do the rest of the report here. We have Hurricane Matthew right here, which is still a Category 3 storm. Let's go look at the National Hurricane Center. Right here we have Matthew with 115 mile per hour winds. That's a Category 3. Pressure has risen up to 961 millibar. It is now moving at 10 miles per hour to the northwest. All right, now all of the forecasts on the Weather Channel are talking about West Palm Beach, Jupiter, Florida, right down here. And so that may happen. I wouldn't put it past these people that are controlling our weather to run this thing and right up the coast, all the way up the coast into New York. So we're going to have to keep an eye on all that. What I see, though, originally I saw, if we go to these other maps up here, we can see a bigger view of what there's been a clearing made and everything is winding out to the northeast. Okay, and so that tells me once this storm gets up a little bit further, it's going to take a right turn. All right, that's what that tells me. Now, but the other problem here is that we see a lot of evaporation here on the east side of this storm, right here. And what that says is that there is some manipulation going on here. Watch all this evaporate right where the pen is. That means high pressure is being installed in this area. And what does that mean? That's going to push this thing over towards Florida. So that's what that looks like. And we can see the same thing occurring right here. We can see the dark area starting to fill in all this clearing, which is turning a dark color, much like out over here is happening right here. That is steering this storm to the west and running it up against Florida. They're going to probably hit the Florida coast with this and maybe run it into Georgia and then out. We'll just have to wait and see. Now, I had forecasted that they would maintain this barrier through here, which it seems that they are. But we should be seeing this activity, what we're seeing right here, way over here, not over here, but on the west side, and that would steer this thing away. But they're doing something different here. This is all clearing out right over here, and we're seeing all this evaporation. I'm not going to show the visible light map because it's just all Photoshop, and there's nothing really to look at. All the detail was shown this morning on the first video. So we are seeing an effort here, I believe, to push this storm a little bit further west, so it runs right up the coast of Florida. So we have to look at the some of the options. Wall Street, the options games. Who's winning? Who's profiting from this? Insurance payouts, insurance stocks. I don't know, but this looks very odd. All this evaporation right here. So this looks like an attempt to guide this storm right towards Florida, and we'll just have to wait and see what they do. The people on TV don't have a firm answer. Okay, let's look at the water temperature now for the Caribbean and near Florida. We have the chart here. Red is 30.6 Celsius. That's right around 82 or 83 degrees, I believe. I can double check that. Right around 83, I think, somewhere in there. My calculator is missing. Okay. Anyhow, we can see from the colored chart that we've got Haiti and Cuba. This is all basically green with some yellow. And as we go up towards Florida, as we move up towards Florida, we can see that the same water temperature is this is consistent all through the area here where this hurricane trekked through, all through here. So now they're calling for some intensification of the hurricane, and that's not good. So they're talking about a Category 4 storm, maybe 130 mile per hour winds by the time this thing gets up near Florida. And you can be assured that was brought to you by the people that have destroyed all the hurricanes in the East Pacific that I mentioned last night on yesterday's video. I have a list of hurricanes here, and nearly every one of them, I've got about 14 of them: Agatha, Blas, Celia, Darby, Estelle, Georgette, Howard, Javier, Madeline, Lester, Newton, Orlean, Payne, Rosalind, and I missed a couple in there, I know that, but all those were blown apart with microwave on the East Pacific. And also we saw storms down here in the Gulf here in the last few weeks that were blown apart. So this is a deliberate terrorist act, in my opinion. Just looking at the patterns. So we'll keep an eye on this and see what happens. It's in their hands, of course. All right, that's it. We'll do another update. Oh, by the way, let's take a look at the rain real quick. Here's the west coast. No rain, despite all that moisture moving through. Over here on the east coast, we have some rain off the Florida coast. Okay, there it is. All right, so we'll just leave it right here, and we'll do another update tomorrow. That's it.